So we are going to start a new topic today, which is editing class attributes. That means to edit, add, delete or modify attributes of a class. Add, delete or modify. Fine. So in Python, we use dot operator to access data members of a class. So it works like public members. Let's understand through a program. Suppose I have this program, which we have studied yesterday also, class inventory with item count and total bill as class variables. And in the init method, that means constructor method or initialization method, we have defined these variables: item, price, quantity, then total, where we have computed the total by multiplying price with quantity, and then total bill is computed by adding self total, means this total with the previous total amount. I have already told about this yesterday. And item count will count the number of items purchased by the buyer. And then there is a display function, def display item, which will display the values of all the items, its name, price, quantity, code and total. All of them need to be written with self.item, self.price, self.quantity, self.code and self.total. This is the way to access data members of a class in Python. And after that, we have created an object I1 is equal to inventory, soap, 30.5 and 4, where soap is the name of the item, 30.5 is the price and 4 is quantity. So all these values will be passed to init method and initialize their values over here. Fine. See, there are only 3 data members of the class: item, price and quantity. You can see from here, item, price and quantity. Total will be computed by multiplying price and quantity. What if I want to add a new element into the class, new attribute to the class? This can be done in a very simple way. I1.code is equal to 111. So code is a new attribute of the object I1, and I have added it to the class and given the value 111. That means the code for soap is 111. Addition of new attribute code. And let's suppose I want to change the price. Then I can do this by using I1.price 29. So initially it was 30.5 and now the price will be 20.0, that means 20 only, modifying the value of price attribute. So this is how we can change their values. And if I want to see the output, that can be done by calling the display item function I1.display item. This is member function of the class. I'm calling it using the object I1, displaying the updated values of I1 object, where its name, item name, price, quantity, code and total will be displayed. Over here we have already mentioned code because in this program we know that I wanted to add a new attribute. That's why I have written already code is equal to self.code. So let's see the output. You can see a new value, a new attribute code will be added, and the result will be item name is soap, new price is 29, which is added, quantity 4, and new attribute is added, which is 111, and then total is computed by multiplying them, which has been done in the init function. So this is how we can add a new element and edit an already created element of a class. Just by accessing it by using dot operator, I1.code will add new element and I1.price, giving the new value, will update the existing price. Fine. There are other ways also. Apart from the above, Python language provides certain methods to obtain information about class attributes. So now, apart from the above, Python language provides certain methods to obtain information about class attributes. The information for these functions is given in this table. You can see there are various methods available by which we can get information about the class, which are get attribute, to obtain or access the value of attribute of a class. If I want to access certain attribute, this can be done by using get attribute. To know the value of certain attribute of a class, we will specify the object name and then name of the attribute which I want to access. Then the next one is has attribute, object comma name, object name and then attribute name, to determine whether an attribute exists or not. So in the earlier in this program we have added code. I can check whether code exists or not. So it will give the appropriate answer, either true or false. Set attribute, it will provide new value to a certain attribute, obj name and value which I want to assign to this attribute. This can be done by using set attribute. To set the value of an attribute, if attribute does not exist, then it would be created with value. And the last one is delete attribute. If I want to delete certain attribute, that can be done by using del attribute. It's very simple. Now let's see through a program. Same program has been written of inventory class. Changes has been made in the lower part of the program. I1 is equal to inventory, soap 30.5 and 4. So we have created an object I1 with these values. Now I want to check whether this object has an attribute code. That can be done by using has attribute. Print has attribute I1 comma code determines whether code attribute exists or not. So it will tell you the answer either true or false. So the answer is false because at present there is no code attribute is associated with this object I1. Next is get attribute I1 comma item obtains the value of item attribute. So what is the value of item? It is soap. So the answer will be soap. You can see in the output, it will be soap. You can see from here. Get attribute soap. Then set attribute I1 comma price 35. That means I have changed the price from 30.5 to 35. Fine. So it will give the new value. Then set attribute I1 code 111. That means a new element has been added, code with value 111. Now I want to display the result. Now it will display the new attribute code and changed value of price also. So the answer will be item name soap, price 35, quantity 4, code 111 and total will be 122. Now let's suppose I want to delete certain attribute. That can be done by using del attribute method. Del attribute I1 comma code. So it will delete code attribute from the class. I hope all these functions or methods are clear to you, which are very simple. Has attribute to check whether certain attribute exists in a class or not. Then get attribute to get the value of certain attribute. Set attribute to set the value of certain attribute. And at last del attribute, which will delete an attribute from a class. So all these 4 functions are very important and easy to use. After that, built-in class attributes. There are certain built-in class attributes exists which are given over here in this table. Dict, doc, name, module and basis. What is their meaning? Dict means dictionary containing the class namespace. Doc means documentation string or none if undefined. So it will provide the documentation string of a class. Suppose I want to see what is given in the doc string of a certain class, then it will return this value. In this above program, we have written doc string as you can see an inventory class. So if I want to check this, what is written in the documentation string of a class, then doc string method will be used and inventory class. This will be returned. Then next one is name. It will return the name of the class. Module name in which the class is defined. This attribute is made in interactive mode. So most of the time we define a class as we have done in the previous programs also. We have done the program in a simple script file or interactive mode. Then the module will be shown as main. If I define a class inside certain function, user defined function, then it will give you the name of that function as a module. Fine. And by default, the module is main. Basis, a possibly empty tuple containing the base classes in the order of their occurrence in the base class list. Suppose I have implemented the concept of inheritance, then basis will show you entire list of base classes if I want to check them. So all these 5 attributes give you information about classes. You can see it through the program also. Let's see. This program is given. Same as the above inventory class up to here. And now we have created an object I1. Inventory soap 30.5 and 4. Now I want to check dictionary of this class. I will write inventory.dict. Inventory is a class name, .dict. So it will give you this result. Complete dictionary, which is built by the interpreter of Python, will be displayed like this. It will have weak reference, attribute. These are internal things. You don't need to go into details. But if somebody wants to check the dictionary of a certain class, that can be done by using inventory.dict. Then inventory.doc, it will return you the doc string of that class. So let's see through output. You can see it is written an inventory class. I have already shown you in the program also. Then inventory.name, it will return you the class name. So what is the class name? You can see it is inventory. So the output will be inventory. You can see from here inventory. Next one is inventory.module. So module is main, because module is the by default, main is the by default module of a class. And the last one is basis. Inventory.module, answer is main, and last one is inventory.basis. What is the result? Is there any base class? Class object. Because it is the only class, there is no base class for this class, so it will return class object. Okay, so by using these attributes, you can get information about a class. Okay, there are 5 attributes. Now the next one is garbage collection or destroying objects. What is garbage collection? Garbage collection means to freeing up the space, memory space, which was occupied by various objects of a class. It is very important to free up the space. Compiler or interpreter automatically free up the space automatically, but we can also perform it by using the same way as we do in destructor in C++, and here in Python it is done by using del method. We write init as constructor. Similarly, del can be used as destructor to delete the objects or destruct the objects that we have created so far in a class. So let's understand through a program. In order to free up the space, we can use del function, or we call it as destructor. So we already created a class inventory. You can see where init method is used to construct the class to create objects, and here there is a new definition, def del self. Fine. So this will delete the instances of the class one by one. Here we have created a class variable item count, which is set to 0 initially, and while creating objects, it will be incremented one by 1. If I create 3 objects, then in item count will become 3. That means 3 objects are created. And the del method or destructor method will delete the objects one by one, and we are decrementing the value of item count one by one. After every call, inventory dot item count minus is equal to 1. That means one object has been deleted. Here for reference, we have printed a message, number of objects destroyed, inventory dot item count. So initially it will display 3, then 2, and then 1. And the function is display item. It will display all the values of the class attributes. So let's understand through this. See, we have created 3 objects, I1, inventory, soap, this is the code, price and quantity. Fine, init method will be called and item count will become 1. Let me zoom out the screen so that you can see. When this object will be created, control will go here to the init method and item count will be incremented to 1. Then second object will be created, control will go here, will put the values over here, and item count will be increased and it will become 2, and the message will be displayed, number of objects created 2. Fine. And in the third call, I3, inventory, oil with this code, price and quantity, control will again go there, will increase item count and it will become 3, and message will be displayed, number of objects created 3. Fine. So this way 3 objects will be created and the appropriate message will also be displayed. After that, we have written del I1. Then this del function or method will be called, which is a destructor method. This is a destructor method. Will be called and it will decrease the item count. Inventory dot item count minus is equal to 1. Initially it was 3, now it will become 2. So the output will be 2. Number of objects destroyed, item count, which is 2. Then control will come back and now del I2 will be called. Number of objects destroyed, it will be decremented and the output will be 1. And again del I3 will be called and it will be decremented, number of objects destroyed 0. That means by using init method, objects were created or constructed, and by using del method, objects are destructed and their memory is free now for use by other programs. So garbage collection or destroying object is also very important concept in order to free up the memory space for further use. I hope you understand the concept. So this is all about classes and objects, the basic concepts. In the next lecture, we'll study inheritance. Very important concept of classes, inheritance.